Thank you very much for joining us, Chris. Now, just to get into it, Wild International did a survey on the SME performance in Kenya amid the COVID-19 pandemic. And just to start us off, just tell us what the greatest, or maybe what I could call the key finding was from this survey.
The key finding for us was the resilience. The resilience among SMEs. It was just one of the things that we had and sort of hit us like the way you hit by a bus. 80% of SMEs said that despite the challenges, despite the scenarios, they are going to work very hard to remain open. They're going to do their best to remain open. So that for us was very, very refreshing.
With that said, and obviously I went through the report and I know some of the things that SMEs are going through and what some of the respondents are saying. What would you say are some of the greatest challenges that SMEs in the country are going through right now at the moment?
Right now, the challenges that SMEs are going through is finding new for their products and services and finding new customers for their products and services, and also just being able to remain afloat, covering their fixed costs and their expenses. Those are the big challenges that SMEs are going through.
But in terms of policies, then, what does your survey inform the government? What needs to be done? Because if I'm to make reference to a statement that the CBK governor made, he actually expressed concern over the survival of SMEs in the country, particularly in this period. So what would you then say needs to be done in terms of shift in policy, informed by the findings of your survey?
So don't get me wrong. I said SMEs have very high resilience. I didn't say it's going to be very easy for them. SMEs are prepared to work hard. And what we need to do for the SMEs is to make it easy for them to succeed. So number one recommendation we had in the report was government needs to procure things locally and encourage purchase of local goods and services, especially where it's possible, especially when it relates to the things that they're using to manage the COVID scenario. Government needs to be at the forefront of doing that. When it comes to the access to credit, yeah, government needs to activate the guarantee funds that they've been talking about so that SMEs can be able to access credit from the financial institutions. This will be able to allow them to figure out how to pay for their costs and to expand to the new markets.
So, Chris, these recommendations come off of the back of already established initiatives by the government to buffer SMEs. And I know even as you
Yes.
were going out there, you tested maybe the viability, the practicality, the reliability of some of the initiatives that the government has put in place. And what was some of the findings in terms of practicality and SME owners? Did they feel the impact on the ground? What's working? What's not working? What can the government do differently?
So what is working for the SMEs in terms of what they're feeling the impact of directly is the reduction of taxes, especially the payroll tax that the SMEs are feeling directly, because even as SMEs they receive a salary, and because they're able to keep more money, that one they're feeling directly. What they're not feeling directly is the access to credit. When the government and the central bank manage allow banks to have a lower interest rates, that they're not feeling directly because SMEs have actually been locked out of credit from before. So when you change interest rates and I was locked out and I'm still locked out, I'm not going to feel the effect. But when you change the tax and the tax is lower, then they're going to feel the effect. So the things that they're feeling the effect for are tax reduction, the V reduction, they're feeling the effect of that positively, and they're feeling the effect of pay that they're feeling directly. Yeah.
Finally, Chris, before I let you go, what would you say is the greatest take home from the results you found out in your survey in line with the current state of the SMEs amid the COVID-19? What should we pick from this? What's going on the ground? And if nothing is done, what should we expect from this vibrant sector that employs more people than any other sector in the country?
The biggest take home is SMEs are willing to fight to survive. 80% of them said they will fight to survive. But in contrast to that, the enabling environment does not exist, then 27% of them will close down.
Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope we'll get in touch with you for more of the surveys that you do on the status of so many different industries within this country, especially amid COVID-19. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for having me. Do have a good afternoon.